Okay, here we are for round 3. And I think I am going to continue to play first. I'm still not 100% sold on that, but we'll keep trying it and trying to figure out what the way to do is. I'm not going to mulligan this hand. Um, it has two of our best cards out of a lot of really good cards. And I will need to hit a swamp, but I mean, we're going to hit a swamp here. Like, we got a bunch more in the deck, and I'm not that worried about it. I'd like to hit it by turn 3, but if we don't, probably pick up a spear or something. Hey. Our buddy the swamp. What do you got? Ooh, an Aven Squire. That's actually, I'm just very happy to see that. We're gonna have a funny line here. If his deck plays things like that, then we're in really good shape because we've got a lot of tools to beat that kind of card and the kind of deck that usually supports that kind of card. Maybe just Blade Tusk Boar and then Duskmantle Prowler. Yeah, I think I can still attack here. Because if he does have the block and pump spell, then I can murder him. What do you got? He had just stone nothing? No, he's hit his 4th mana, so he's going to play something here. But it's not going to be red. Ah, the Pillar Field Ox. Beautiful. So we're just going to hit him for 5. And a Searing Spear. Man. Life is good. I am going to run the Duskmantle Prowler out there. And the reason is that I want to be able to attack with it next turn. Depending on what he does, we could murder and spear his guys and then just attack him for 7, put him on a 2-turn clock. I don't know that I really need to do that, but we'll see. Certainly want the option. Alright, beatdown continues. Back down to 20 for us. You got us. Pacify the boar. Yeah. That's it? Okay. I get 1 more damage in if I turn to slag his Pillar Field Ox. Don't think that that's worth it. I have a plan here of going like 3, 6. That puts him to a 7. So I do need to get 1 more damage in at some point here. Yeah, I think we might as well. Hopefully it doesn't have a safe passage. Normally I wouldn't spend a whole card just to get the 1 damage in, but basically the way the math works out is that we're going to have to, at one point during these attacks, I'm going to have to get 1 extra point of damage in. And I had unsummon anyway. Alright, so that throws our time frame off a little bit, but not a big deal. Beats. What is this? Ooh, Captain of the Watch. That's a good one. All right, but we can get him pretty good here. See if he's greedy, or if he just chumps. Or maybe just take it. Put 2 of them on there. Yeah, that was the not plan A for him. I mean, he has to figure that I'm going to kill that thing, so I think that that's a poor decision for his blocks there. I'm in red black and I've got 6 untapped mana and I'm just throwing my guy in. I'm not going to trade him for 1 token. Like, I'm just never doing that. So he should assume that his Captain of the Watch is going to die there. And then he could put all 3 tokens on it if he really wanted to kill it. That way, if I kill Captain, because I want to kill Captain. I mean, I'm not going to kill a token when Captain reduces them all by 1 anyway. That way I have to have another removal spell. I happen to have it this time, but I don't always have it. Sure. That thing is so crappy when you're getting beaten down. It's okay. Like, I wouldn't say maybe so crappy is a little too far, but it's just very unimpressive for 5 mana when you're the one getting beaten down. All right. Beats. He can't chump block here. He's just going to take it. Play a Scorpion because I can leave Spear mana up anyway. Hit me for 3. He could just leave him back. No, that doesn't do anything. Saving the spear because I'd like to have it to go to his face if I can. I still think just this attack is if I attack here, he can double block, although that's not bad either. He can chump block here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to send in the team. Get 1 more damage in this way. And he could just make a mistake. I mean, that's the other thing is when you do things like this, sometimes you just get rewarded and your opponent just doesn't block and they take 5 instead of 3 or whatever. All right, so he's got Fairy Invaders. Yeah, that resolves. But it also gets insta-killed. He's got another unsummon. Oh, a Show of Valor. All right, well, I will complete the 3 for 2 if I can get my Moto. Just stop doing that. Jeez. All right. So this gives him the opportunity to trade his 2 dudes for my Duskmantle Prowler if he wants. He's out of cards, though, and it wouldn't leave him with much of a board. I'm taking 3 either way, so... Sure. Wish I had another mana, but I'm certainly not unhappy with how that sequence went. What is this? Better be good. Provocateur is not very good. It's attacking anyway. Not blocking. Yeah, these cards are like, this is funny, like seeing these 2 cards next to each other, because one of my arguments against these cards is that they're really just quite bad when you're behind. And, I really think that that's a legitimate argument. I'm just going to play this one because he has to block here and here, so same thing as playing this. It's 3 power basically that's going to get in. But it really does matter. I mean, when you look at a card, you need, like, look at this guy. If you're ahead, he's sweet. That's right now. If you're behind, he's also pretty good. Like, if let's say he was beating me down on the ground, I could play this guy and have a blocker up that can regenerate and maybe, double block something and get in there. Vampire Nighthawk, I'm not going to compare that to Battleflight Eagle, Corley Provocateur, but again, if you're ahead, like, you're really happy to see it. It makes your game plan go longer. You're really happy. And if you're behind, he can help stabilize your board really well. So, I don't know. To me, it's just like, these are things you need to consider. They don't say that you should or shouldn't play a card. It's just, it factors in. All right, I'm putting in the Cower and Fear, the other one, because we did see the Exalted guy, and I'm just wondering if he's got more. If he doesn't, I can undo that as well. I look at the Prowler again. I think I'd rather just have that card be like a Duty Bound dead. Generally. Okay, let's take a look at our opener here. That is what we call a Sneep. The Vampire Nighthawk gave him fits. We can protect it. We hit any land, and we've got 2 evasive threats. Like, this is just an ideal opener. Very sweet. That is a card that we do not care about in the slightest. Completely will ignore that until he does something to make us not ignore that. I just don't think this thing has enough effect on the board. All right. Well, I guess we do get to kill it. This is the White Ring, right? Yeah. All right. You did it. You did enough to make me kill a Warclamp Mastiff. Congrats. Oh, right into Shade. Maybe not even into Shade. Maybe just still into... I think I'm just going to go Boar and just be like, here, beat this. We can certainly just hang with... I could have just let him keep the ring as well, but I kind of like keeping that early interaction from going. That's a 1/1. I'll get bigger, but not at a rate that really is reasonable. Double Mountains. I think he's going to have Vigilance. It's going to be a 2/2, probably a 3/3 when he casts a creature. I can make this into like a 4/4. I think I am just going to stick with the Blade Tusk Boar. It allows me to keep curving out. Because this way, next turn, I can play another Blade Tusk Boar, where if I would have played the Shade, I could have pumped it for like 1, but then if he plays a creature, he can block, and this thing's going to have Vigilance, so I just like playing this out because it lets me use up my mana more efficiently. Sure, whatever. Hit me for 5. I do not care. Again, this is just where Nighthawk shines again. I may be able to just keep beating him down. And I'm only going to 17, and I'm at virtual 19 because I am going to get an attack in with the Nighthawk. It's just like, you can just kind of shrug. Now, if he moves it onto this, then we've got a problem, but... All right, so beats. And for this turn, I have a decision to make. He takes... Okay, so Searing Spear is going to get cast. I can do it now to take out this Crusader. That's his biggest threat. If he moves the ring over, then I'll have a whole nother turn to do it. So I don't think I care about this thing because we're just not interacting. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this guy. Because now I've got him on like a 2-turn clock. He has to deal with these. I can get in a hit with this or a hit with this. So he's got to deal with these Blade Tusk Boars now. Ooh, a Swamp. That could definitely be a public execution of sorts. That would be interesting. So this does nothing because I just gained the life right back. And this does hit me for 4, though, which will add up, but he won't be able to race me in the current setup. Probably a public execution here. If he's got a Swamp and 6 mana, I think we can expect that. It's actually a pretty sweet draw, because I do want to have one of these around. If he goes to execute something, we can Searing Spirit and still get in for the damage. I mean, this is actually something that might happen if he goes for the execution, like on the Nighthawk. I think I do just Spirit, because then I get in for 6. That puts him, and then, yeah, and then next turn I can just Searing Spear him after I hit. Yeah, gotcha. Because now we have a plan of just killing him next turn with our second Searing Spear. Feels weird to do that, but I just think that getting into the damage that turn was super important. It took away 4 damage, and we could have done 3 to his face that way, but with our Searing Spear as well. But same difference, it's 1 more damage, so our guy's dying either way. Yeah, take 7. Yeah, I'll play a Swamp. He has to block here. We'll pump up everything to try to get him to do something, and then we'll Searing Spear him out. Oh, he's got an unsummon. I wish he didn't have 1 more card in his hand, but I can replay that anyway, so I'm going to dome him right now. If this resolves and we win, if it doesn't, then I play Liliana Spectre, I chump block here, and then I kill him. He says 3 spears. It was 4. All right, so we finished strong there, and yeah, that deck was sweet. I mean, I don't plan on getting decks like that often in this new format. That kind of thing doesn't happen that much. But all right, that was cool. M13, I'm excited. I mean, open me up some more Staffs of Nin, and I'll be really, really stoked. But there's a lot of really fun cards that I want to try out in this format, and as we kind of move towards getting a feel, I got a chance to draft earlier today, and I 3-0'd with Black-White. Exalted. It's kind of one of the more obvious look, if you go over the whole set, you can kind of see it as a potential archetype, and it's legitimate. It's fantastic. I love playing decks like that, and as long as you can get a bunch of Exalted guys, the more you get, the better off you are. And yeah, just beat them down. That's what I did. I also played another deck earlier that was white-green, I believe, and it was very dirtily. I was just miserable playing it. It just played a bunch of creatures that didn't really do much. I didn't have a way to really interact with my opponent, and I'm just I don't want to do this anymore. Even if the creatures were reasonable, they just didn't do enough, and I was pretty miserable, so I'm probably going to try to avoid that. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. If you want to give me any feedback or anything, it's via email. You can do so at limitedresourcespodcast@gmail.com. It's a big one, but that's where we get our email feedback, and thanks to those of you that have sent email feedback. I do appreciate it. You guys are really supportive, and it's awesome. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my name on there is Marshall_LR, and if you want to join the clan here on Magic Online, you can find me, my name right there, and just leave me a message and just say, hey, I'd like to join the clan, and that's all you need to do, and I will get you a clan invite. We've got 1 billion members. That is a technical term. And by 1 billion, I mean 1,723. We are gradually creeping up. We've been still just growing and growing and growing, and we're creeping up on the 2,000 mark. That's going to be really sweet. I want to try to do something special when we get up to 2,000. But anyway, if you want to join, you can do the weekly cube drafts or even more than weekly, that Desiccre does and that Asturiel does. And yeah, they're really fun. They're free. If you're kind of nervous about trying out Magic Online, or if you just kind of want to dip your toe in and get used to the drafting and get used to the interface, it's a great way to do it. They don't cost you anything. I mean, you can't just sit there and do them forever, but you can certainly, do them when they run and kind of get your feet going, and then you can jump into the real queues and start smashing people. So anyway, guys, thanks as always for watching the videos. Hopefully they're helpful. Again, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody for the feedback and the kind words. I've gotten a lot of nice stuff, and there's always people around that are like, "Oh, you missed this attack, you must suck at Magic." But I think that the people that listen and watch the videos tend to be a lot more level-headed, and they're like, "Look, they understand what's going on here. That mistakes are going to happen or whatever." But I'm still doing my best, and that the point is to try to get something out of the video together. And I just wanted to thank you guys for the feedback. So until next week. Yeah, we're going to be drafting more M13.